So this is the theme we're going for, with the graffiti text kind of popping off the background, and then we're going to be using some ink splatter brushes on the background. Looks like someone's chucked a bucket of paint on the wall. So go to File, New Document. I'm going to be calling it Graffiti Text, just to keep track. And it'll be 1920 by 1080 is what I'm using. So the first thing we're going to do is get your text tool on the left hand side, or T for the hotkey. Click on your document, type out what you want it to say, OK that, and then go to your character toolbar on the side. The font we're using is Amsterdam Graffiti, which I'll put a link so you can download and install for yourself. And pixel size, about 350 works for me on this size. And then you get your select tool and move that to the middle somewhere. Cool. And then what you want to do next is hold Command or Control if you're on PC. And you're going to click in the little box on your layers panel, and what that'll do is select all the pixels on that layer, or you can right click, select pixels, which does the same thing. And then you want a nice sort of rich colour. I'm going to be using red, which is RGB 200 2020 if you're following. And then you want something similar but a bit darker, so same, I'm going to be doing red, 140, 12 and 12. And then what you want is to hold onto your gradient tool, so hold onto your bucket fill and then select gradient tool, or Shift and G. And then you want a new layer down the bottom right. Double click if you want to rename it, just so you can keep track. And then you want to drag from top to bottom, hold in Shift so you do a straight gradient down, and then go in line with the bottom of your text. So then you've got your main text for the front. And then create another new layer again. Double click and call it outline if you want to keep track, and then go to select at the top, modify, expand, and I'm going to be expanding by about 10 pixels, works for me, so it's nice outline around the text. And then you want to reset your colours, which is this little icon here, and that will put black in the foreground. Hold on to your gradient tool and then select bucket fill, and then on your outline layer just fill that all in black. You go to select, deselect, and drag your outline down so it's below the main text. So you've got this nice outline which is going to blend in well with the splatters background. Okay, so right click on your outline, we're going to make a nice drop shadow, go up to blending options, drop shadow, and then the settings I'll be using is 75% opacity, 20 distance, 15 spread, and 25 size, and you can play around with them, and sort of pops it off the background a bit. So you want another new layer, to make the background, drag that to the bottom so it's behind your outline. You can hide your type tool just so it's out of the way, and then you will get your brush tool, which is on the left hand side, or B for the hotkey, and choose your brush, which if you install the splatter brushes that I'll put in the link, it's on the settings, load brushes, and then you choose where you've put them. Scroll down to where they are, and then just fill in the background. Tend not to use the same brush twice, just so you can't see any sort of recurring patterns. And then you can resize your brush. A useful hotkey to learn is using the square brackets to sort of make it bigger or smaller. Or you can just go up to here and change your brush size manually that way, and then sort of just keep filling the background, changing your brushes, get a nice sort of, like someone's got a big bucket of paint and throwing it. And just keep filling in, and then what we'll do after is sort of change the colour to sort of add a bit more, enhance it a little bit more. Just find something that fills in a bit more. That one might do. A bit more dripping. Cool, and that one will do. Let's get a nice big one to finish off. A little bit too much, so edit undo on that one. Let's try this one. Make that a bit smaller. Ooh, not too small. Cool, so there's your main background, and then you can either make a new layer or just do it on the same layer, doesn't really matter. And choose a nice sort of rich colour. Again, I'm going to use the same colour that my text is, and then you're going to change your brushes again, and just sort of fill. I'm going to make them a little bit smaller just so it looks like the slightly different, and then just sort of fill in the background a bit. That's a little bit of colour. Touch more. Bit of a spray, and a square. That'll do. Cool. And once you've done that, it's sort of pretty much finished. Another extra thing you can do is go onto your text layer at the top and then select your burn tool on the left hand side, or you might have to hold on the dodge tool and select down. Again, select one of the splatter brushes and resize that down so it's quite a bit smaller than the background brushes, and you can just sort of click on the text just to sort of burn it into the text a bit and choose sort of different brush each time. It sort of adds a bit more texture to it. And you can sort of click a couple of times to make it a bit darker. And finish off one more, and there you go, pretty much done. And if you go back to the original, there's sort of different ways you can do it. Another option is using sort of paint, so you've got lots of different colours, or you can use different brushes, or sort of get it so it's dripping off the text. On this one I sort of used a bit of emboss on the paint so it looks a bit more 3D. So just have a play around, see what you come up with. Thanks for watching, see you next time.